What's up, everyone? It is Wednesday, November 17th. This is your second community meeting for the month of November for Tanzu Community Edition. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you joining us. We have an objective for the meeting. Our objective is to give you all updates about what's going on with Tanzu Community Edition, how we're doing as far as engineering, the new versions that are coming out, as well as any of the other areas around the project that you might be interested in. So to that end, we have an agenda here that I will share. It's on that HackMD page that I will put in the chat one more time for you all here. And so what we have today, we did the welcome and the objective, our announcement. So next week, we won't have office hours. We're celebrating Thanksgiving here in the United States, and all of us here are going to be on vacation. So you can come, we won't be there. So yeah, feel free to take this time next week. We are in planning right now to add a community call for the APAC region. I know we have about almost 300 hits on our last community meeting YouTube video, and I appreciate those of you who aren't able to join us synchronously, be watching the videos after, but we want to make sure that we're able to speak to you in the same way that we're talking to the folks that can make it in this time slot. So we're hoping to start those calls in February. There will be a lot more information coming out about how to schedule, or like what the schedule is and when that's going to happen. I went over it last time. If you're interested in getting swag from us, there are a few things you can do. If you've contributed to Tanzu Community Edition, not just code, but docs or anything, if you have a PR, you can send that to me and I'll make sure to get you something out. If you want to show us something that you've built or you just deployed Tanzu Community Edition, just post in our show and tell. Show us it working, how you're using it, anything that you ran into along the way, and we'll make sure to get you out some stuff as well. And if you want to introduce yourself in that GitHub thread that we've started to give you introductions, we're going to choose one random person a month to send them some swag. And then, yeah, just continue to be active in our Slack channels and the GitHub repos, or coming to the meetings as you can. For our community shoutouts, we just wanted to give a general one to all of you for being here. It is great to see you here. I'm going to pass it over to John for engineering updates.
Sure thing. Thank you, Nigel. Can I share my screen?
Yes, you may.
Sweet. Well, happy almost holiday, everyone. As Nigel mentioned, the engineering team will be off, I think, most of the week, so slow to respond to issues and pull requests. We are on track for our V010 release. You can find the RC that just dropped yesterday in the releases on GitHub here. You can also look at the roadmap, which is linked here, issue 1293. And you can see all the things that have been worked on and other various details. As far as that, pretty quiet actually. There's still the proposal for standalone clusters overhaul, which you can find here, is issue 2266. And there's details in there about trying it out and giving us some feedback on it. So please try it, take a look. Yeah, otherwise on to the release, V010. And I think that's, when did we write that down? Yeah, Code Freeze is coming up pretty quickly on the 19th, and then our target release is on the 3rd of December. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you, John. Does anybody have any questions about the release candidate that was just cut, or about the standalone overhaul that is being planned? We'll pause for a couple of minutes for folks that have questions for engineering, specifically around those two topics.
For the standalone that is in proposal now, the proposals was open for a bit now, and I see that we have some good feedback here. Are we at a place where we think where the proposal's at right now? We've taken into account all the feedback that we would need to. Is this in a solid place at this moment? Roger,
Yeah,
I think before, to John, and then also Roger, before you had asked, just for just some more, engagement. And I'm just wondering, are we on track here? I know that we had a lot of like people who were very interested.
Yeah, John, go ahead, John. I'll comment after.
Yeah, sure. I think, we've gotten a ton of really great community feedback. I know Roger and Josh have been talking pretty closely about, the timeline of all this stuff, but yeah, I would say it's gotten great community feedback and a lot of buzz and excitement about this overhaul.
Yeah, Josh and I have been talking, and the one thing that we agreed that would be necessary to go beta with it is that it should be on an equal interface footing with old standalone cluster, by which I mean we should be able to do Tanzu standalone create -- UI and get an appropriate kickstart, which of course, and so we need to open something in framework for that. But I think the implementation itself, I haven't seen anything really negative or requesting, or believing it's inadequate. I think it's a dramatic improvement and focuses well on what people are actually using standalone clusters for. So, feedback is good. I think we need to, like I said, I think to call it beta, since Jace's input was to track the alpha beta stable path of Kubernetes upstream. I think to call it beta, we need a kickstart UI.
So Sean, I see your hand there, and then we'll get to Jesse's question right after that. Sean, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, just wanted to, I guess, highlight something with that as far as having a UI. With the new standalone, at least of how it is proposed today, it is only Docker. Yeah. So just want to make sure you're aware of that, because as with the standalone UI, when it comes to using the Docker provider, really the only thing the UI does is add a check to make sure that the Docker engine looks like it's present and running.
Right. Yes, so, but since we were already talking to other groups about other local implementations, it would be good to have the framework of the ability to add those. We're trying to get them to do it the other way and call us, but if they decide not to go that way, or there's a mix of them, it would be a good idea to have it ready. And there are just GUI users, it's going to it'll do minimal stuff, but it will seem like a first-class citizen. I know there's damn little to do there, but.
Okay, thank you, Sean. So thanks, John, for answering the question in the chat. I'm going to do it here for the folks watching on video. Is there a policy on how long proposals need to be open, or what the threshold is for a decision? And the answer to that right now is that our tech lead, Josh, and Dims are working on a way to get a better process for proposing new features and changes. And we'll continue that conversation in the Slack channel. Are there any other questions about what's coming up with the release with our v0.10, as well as with the standalone overhaul?
Okay, so just so I understand correctly, so it sounds like we have a dependency on the UI work coming through, and we'll be having some of those conversations coming up. Do we have issues already logged with the team?
I don't think there's an issue open. I will open it.
Okay, cool. This is going to be awesome. This is definitely great to see, and just have to say, like, it's just cool to see everybody coming together to really bring something technically different here. So hats off to everybody. Thanks for the update.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just another quick shout out to, there are a lot of issues that were included in this RC from frameworks. So shout out to the framework team, Tanzu Framework, for getting a lot of that stuff through as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Is there anything that you wanted to point out in particular in the 0.10 release? I know there's not a whole lot that changed under the hood, but
good question. Yeah, let me share my screen again.
Yeah.
We provide some pretty detailed notes as far as our in the release itself. So if you head over here on MacBook, you can do it. And then we go down to the RC10 release. I think one was there are 2 new packages, the whereabouts package, which somebody contributed. I'm not super familiar with this. I know there were some questions, and I think opening issues with questions or feedback in the repo itself and then tagging those maintainers would be great. But yeah, we can try that. And then also the new secrets plugin from the Tanzu CLI, which we consumed upstream from Tanzu Framework. And then obviously bumping Tanzu Framework gives us all of the stuff that they've been working on as far as bugs and really everything. So you can see the long list of everything that's been contributed. So huge shout out to all these contributors, and docs changes, everything. Yeah, it's super, super impactful.
And we are going to be working on a way, we're working on a method for being able to shout out all of the contributors for each release in a more automated fashion. So stay tuned for that. We definitely want to make sure that we're appreciating everyone that's contributing time, thoughts, and code to Tanzu Community Edition. Okay, before we move
John.
on, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah.
Hey, John, if I remember correctly, the plan was to have a couple, in addition to the standalone proposal, was to have a couple of proposals or design docs ready for review with 0.10. Do you?
That's a good question. I'm not sure or familiar if there were additional proposals lined up for 0.10. Any of the other engineers know?
Yeah, not to my knowledge, right?
Okay, because Josh at one point had a list of 3 docs.
Right. Those might have been, those honestly might have been KubeCon hotel lobby pipe dreams. But yeah, definitely for this release, we've definitely been targeting, building the community, paying down some technical debt. So yeah, nothing super duper exciting in 0.10.
Yeah, no, actually it's, yeah, right. Okay. Never mind.
All right. Thank you, John. I don't believe we had any PM updates or advocacy updates or framework updates, but if I see representatives from each of those groups here, if there's something that you wanted to say now, please do.
Sure. So advocacy. Yeah, I didn't have any new things, but I wanted to reiterate again, if anyone has any like meetups or conferences or things ideas that they want advocacy, so that would be Lead Capilli and myself involved in, please contact like us, or like I have my Twitter up here, which I'm really bad at pointing at, but it's right here. So yeah, if there's anything, whether you want to work on a blog together or ask questions or anything like that, feel free to contact me.
Thank you, Tiffany. Okay. Anything from PM or framework?
I just want to say forward looking that at one of the January meetings, bring your thinking caps, because we expect to have a roadmap show and tell and discussion.
Yeah. And to that end, about the community feedback and the user feedback, we're going to be planning on our December 1st meeting to have folks from the UI group to be here to get some thoughts on the direction that we're taking the UI for Tanzu Community Edition. So yeah, everyone who's able to join us then, and then we'll figure out some method for getting feedback as well after the meeting. So yeah, something else to look forward to. All right.
I guess one more thing. Speaking of December, it'll be on the website later, but so we have a site that's called Tanzu.tv, which has a bunch of the different shows that we have on Tanzu Tuesdays on December 7th. John here is going to be on our show, and there are going to be talks about Tanzu Community Edition. So come join us.
Yeah, so that's one of our upcoming events that we have, and then we also have an event tomorrow doing an introduction to Tanzu Community Edition. Jennifer, did you want to say anything about that?
Just that we have an awful lot of people signed up to join us. So if any of you want to come along, I know you already know what we're going to be talking about, but it could be interesting to hear what questions come up. I'm sure that we'll have some, and you can see what people care about, what they're thinking, and what's top of mind as they first learn about Tanzu Community Edition. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Thank you. And that link is in the email that was sent out. You can go to the Google group and see all of the links and updates about what we've got upcoming. All right, that said, before we head out, is there anything else? All right. Well, again, next week, we're not going to be here for the holidays in the US. I'll be sending out, or I'll be getting these videos and stuff uploaded. But yeah, looking forward to December and January, where we're going to be doing some more active solicitation of feedback from you, the community, on the direction you would like to see Tanzu Community Edition go. I'm going to do a little bit better job of communicating over email. I said that I had fixed all the calendar issues. It's not true. There are going to be 2 more calendar updates coming your way. Just want to give you a heads up right now. I lied in the email. But after that, we should be good, but who knows? Calendars are hard. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Take care, y'all. Bye.